Hi everybody, Lara here from Love on a Plate, and as promised, here we are. It's Sunday and I'm going to show you what my weekly Sunday soup and lunch prep looks like. So we are going to make today, I make soup every single Sunday, so I am making a Instant Pot lasagna soup, which is delicious, and it's good enough for dinner, but usually we use it for snacks and lunches at our house. I'm also then going to make a big batch of rice, and I'm going to get that prepped so that I can make some Chinese fried rice when I make my Asian grilled steak later in the week. And then I'm going to show you two different kinds of sandwiches that I make, and I'm going to share with you the world's best Caesar salad dressing. So often for lunches I make sandwiches and wraps, but kind of interesting ones for the kids, and then I convert those same ingredients into bowls or salads for James and myself as we try to eat just a little bit healthier, because you know, it's not the freshman 15, but it's the 50 something. So I'm going to start with the Instant Pot soup, and that should be done by the time we are done with this whole lunch prep. So if you're hopping on, if you're joining me, James is going to get my iPad going. Say hi. I hope everybody had a good Sunday. Some of these recipes are already up on the blog at loveonaplate.ca, and James will put the link up for you, and the rest will go up as soon as I possibly can get them up. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but my day got away from me. So let's start with the Instant Pot soup, okay, you guys? So I'm using sausage in this lasagna soup, but you could use also ground beef. You could use ground turkey. Really, the big trick for me with any tomato-based soup that I do in the Instant Pot is that often they burn, right? You get that burn notice because the tomato sauce is really thick. And so I have, with some practice, come up with my technique that I use that avoids that burn notice all the time. So what I do is I layer the liquids on the bottom and I don't stir. So I will show you that as we're going through. So we're gonna start with a diced onion, and you could use frozen chopped onion. I just don't have any. And this has all the ingredients of lasagna without the fuss of layering it. And like I said, it reheats super well. And I'm using those oven-ready lasagna noodles. You don't have to, but I had 2 half boxes, and so I am going to use those. So I'm going to try to bring my Instant Pot over here so you can see what's going on. They have the world's smallest, shortest cords. I know it's for safety, but it makes me crazy. Okay, so I turned it on to saute already, and I'm gonna put in just a little bit, like a smidge of olive oil, so I can start sauteing the onions and the garlic and the sausage. And like I said, you can use any kind of ground meat that you like. I stocked up on some Italian sausage and I like the way it tastes. Okay, so that's 1 chopped onion, and I have it on saute, and I'm actually gonna turn it to medium because speed is the name of the game. So then I'm just going to slice open the sausage and take the meat out of the casing, and this is the messy part. I don't have much luck. I would buy it out of the casing if I could find it, but I can't find it that way very often. My grocery store is kind of weird. Some weeks yes, some weeks no. So I'm gonna crumble this all up, and next time I do it, it'll be a lot easier, as I'm gonna get that mix and chop that James said I didn't need, but I think I need. So if you're watching and you know anybody who also struggles with getting lunches made for the week, if you want to share this video, this girl would love that. Okay, so I've got 5 sausages. It's about 1.5 pounds of some kind of ground meat, basically. Okay, and then I'm gonna start to break it up. Could use my potato masher too, actually. Okay, so that is going to saute, and that's one of my favorite things. And people think that the Instant Pot is going to be instant, but of course it's not. It has to come to pressure. But when you set it to saute first, it does come up to pressure a lot faster. Okay, so next I want some garlic. And I'm using 2 large cloves of garlic. And this recipe is already up on the blog if you want to go and grab it. Not now, because then you wouldn't be here hanging out with me. So what's everybody else doing on this nice Sunday? We are actually having a bit warmer weather here in Mississauga. It was awful yesterday. So 2 big cloves, because we're making a big batch, right?
You had a bunch of people doing it, so a big batch of what?
Oh, we are making a big batch of Instant Pot lasagna soup, and I am using sausage. If you have ground beef in your fridge, you can use that. You can use ground turkey. You can use ground chicken. You could actually use half ground, half and half. I'm pretty flexible, and most of my recipes are too. Okay, so the garlic is in, the sausage is in, and the onions are in. And I know it's really hard to see. And what we're doing here with this is we're gonna let it all get browned up. And I love the Instant Pot for that. 1 pot, 1 mess. And this is my Sunday soup. Lots of Italian grandmas make Sunday sauce. You know, that amazing spaghetti sauce with everything in it. I love that too. But I have to make Sunday soup for my littlest child. And it makes really good snacks too. Okay, so that's gonna keep going. And I'm gonna keep going. So we want to add in, I'm just wash my hands. So we want to add in, I'm adding in 2 tablespoons, if I could find my tablespoons there, of Italian seasoning. And I like to make anything I cook in the Instant Pot or the slow cooker, I put lots of seasoning in. And then this is the big trick. So that I don't get that burn notice, once this is browned up, I'm gonna layer it by the wettest ingredient first, and then, so I'm gonna put my stock in first, and then my diced tomatoes with all of the juice, and then I put the tomato sauce on top, and I don't stir it all up, and it won't get the burn notice. And the burn notice doesn't always mean it's burning, it just means the Instant Pot thinks it doesn't have enough liquid, and it's warning you.
Now Wendy's going to be making your pizza sloppy joes later on. Is that you or is that 5D?
That's me.
Okay.
And that is over on the blog.
I'll put a link.
And James will put a link for you if you haven't already grabbed the recipe. They were...
She must have.
She's making them. They're super, super delicious. And I have an idea for a new one. A new kind of pizza sloppy joe, because my kids like the Hawaiian. So I have come up with a Hawaiian pizza sloppy joe. I'll share it maybe next Friday. Okay, so this, I'm gonna try to show you. So this is now all nicely browned up, and I'm getting my sausage facial here. All right, if you're using ground beef and you want a little bit more of that Italian sausage flavor, you can add in fennel seeds. That's what makes sausage really taste like sausage. Okay. Everybody loves this Pampered Chef can opener, so I bought it, and I can never get it to work properly. So we'll see. It's lucky James is not doing all of his normal tech support, but he's been excellent at can opening. What else? Sorry, is that Wendy who's making the sloppy joes? Yeah. What else are you prepping this week, Wendy?
Wendy said she finished prepping for the week.
Finished
Yeah,
prepping.
she prepped.
Oh, you prepped. The sloppy joes are great too for reheating and stuff. Okay. So I still have the Instant Pot on saute because I want it as hot as possible, so when I go to pressure cook, it takes the least amount of time possible. So I'm putting all of the chicken broth in, so that's 4 cups of chicken broth. Get all that out. And that I'll stir just so that all the seasonings get in there. And then I layer in the diced tomatoes. And those I can stir in, but the tomato sauce, which is the thickest part, I'm not gonna stir. Okay, so use any kind of tomato sauce that you want. So I'm putting, this is what I had in my cupboard. I buy what's on sale because that's what we do. Waste not, want not. I want the last of that sauce. So a little bit of extra water just to get all of this stuff out. Okay. Now for the lasagna part. So like I said, I am using these oven ready noodles. 6. I'm gonna use 8 of them. And so again, I'm not stirring, and I'm not gonna stir the noodles either. And I'm gonna break them into pieces and drop them in. And I'll make sure that they are all covered with liquid, but of course they also steam. And then I won't, if I stir these, the noodles will go to the bottom and they'll burn. So this has been my learnings after playing with my Instant Pot. And if this is too thick at the end when it's done, you can just add some more stock. Okay, so that's it. That is everything I need for that. And it only needs to pressure cook the happy jingle song. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my steam vent to closed. I'm going to cancel the saute, turn it to pressure, and I'm going to cook it for 7 minutes. Pasta can be tricky, but in general what I find is if you Instant Pot cook it for 1 minute less than it tells you on the package directions, it comes up perfectly every time. Okay, so I didn't stir that. I'm gonna get rid of my first round of dirty dishes, like one whole knife, and that is gonna cook. So one of my tricks when I'm meal prepping for lunches on Sunday, because I wanted to go fast, is I have lots of things going all at the same time. Kind of like, you know, like my life. And I'm sure your lives too. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to get my rice cooker working for me. And I'm gonna cook up a big batch of rice. Okay, so I have 3 cups of rice in here. And then I'm gonna put 6 cups of water. And pretty much I can make this soup and all of the lunches in about an hour. Tastes way better, and I portion them up. Okay, so that's 4, 6. And if I had a second Instant Pot, I would probably do my rice in my Instant Pot, but that's going on my Christmas list. James is looking at me funny. What he doesn't know is that there's red Instant Pots, you guys. Colored Instant Pots. I'm so excited. It matches my kitchen. Okay. Cook. So that much rice takes about 20 minutes in the rice cooker, and I'll prep all the stuff that will go in the rice on cooking day, which is basically just a few vegetables and some soy sauce. And then it makes prep on cook day like nothing. All right, we are making for James. We have bacon, ladies. He should be a happy guy. I'm gonna make some chicken Caesar salad wraps for the kids, and I'm going to make chicken Caesar salad for James. So I'm gonna start, I put my bacon in the oven. Again, it allows me to not watch it. So the Instant Pot's doing its thing. The rice cooker's doing its thing. And then I'm going to have this bacon baking. And I just cut it in half and all. Don't worry, I will wash my scissors. And I just spread this out on my baking sheet. And it bakes at 350 for about 20 minutes. And then it'll be ready to go in our chicken Caesar salad. And I'm gonna show you how truly I make the best from scratch Caesar salad dressing. I've been making it for years. I used to cater. It was one of my clients' favorite dishes. They couldn't believe it. It does have anchovies in it. Just trust me, it doesn't taste like fish, but it doesn't have raw egg in it. I start with mayonnaise. So you can leave the anchovies out. I use anchovy paste. I'll show you when I get there. However, it doesn't taste fishy. It doesn't really taste like you think anchovies taste like. So if you leave the anchovies out, you just increase the Worcestershire sauce a little bit to give it a little bit more flavor. Okay, so we have a lot of bacon because, okay, give me a thumbs up if we all love bacon.
Well, Melissa's wondering about bacon in the oven. She is saying no way.
What do you mean no way? Yes way. You watch. Okay, so my sheet is full. I'm gonna pop that away.
Oh, Terry says it's her favorite way to cook bacon.
It is my absolute favorite way to cook bacon.
As does Ambeth.
Okay, so I don't have to watch it. It's not gonna burn. It's not gonna splatter all over my stove. It's not gonna make a big mess. So I'm gonna put it in now and you're gonna see. I have something that I was cooking in here earlier that I totally forgot about. It needs to come out. So you don't need to. No. Okay. We're going to put that in the cooking fail category. Okay. That's what happens when you try to do too many things. All right. So now the bacon is cooking. The soup is cooking. The rice is cooking. We're going to make the Caesar salad dressing. Okay. Mayo. Worcestershire sauce. And this is also up on the blog.
Link shortly.
And James will find the link. So my youngest son loves any kind of dip. He's really a ranch dip guy. And for years, he loved Caesar salad. And like I said, I used to make this from scratch all the time. And then, I don't know, I stopped and just started buying the bottled stuff. And about a year ago, I guess, was the first time I made it for And he renamed it, "Oh my God, awesome sauce, Mom." That's what he calls it. Okay, so it's a cup of mayo. Don't forget I have the world's smallest kitchen. And to that, I am adding this is anchovy paste, you guys, like a half a teaspoon, okay? And it comes in a tube, so it doesn't take much space. And I'll admit it's the only thing I use anchovy paste for. And then a couple of dashes of Worcestershire. Oop, I'm getting messy.
So Beth is saying that she uses parchment paper when she does the bacon in the oven.
Yep. So you absolutely could. It's just that is my Pampered Chef stone. So it's non-stick and I'm trying to season it up. So I love sorry, I'm just trying to get a lemon. I'm trying to get the kind of the grease into the stone, to be honest. Yeah, if you use parchment paper, it's like the easiest cleanup in the entire world. It's just like amazing.
And Teresa wants to know where you got your baskets at.
I got my baskets at Marshall's in the laundry section, if you can believe. And I wish I had bought 2 sets. But yeah, they have the cutest stuff there. Okay, so then a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. That gives it a little bit of a kick. Ooh. Lemon juice, because that's standard. Gives a little tartness. Oh, getting crazy here, guys. So like a tablespoon of lemon juice. Okay. And then the garlic. And the garlic, so this is one of the only times I would say I really don't want you to use that minced garlic from a jar because it just tastes different. So I'm using fresh. I'm using a big clove. I personally think there can never be too much garlic, but since people take this for lunches, I don't want their breath to be too bad. Okay, so 1 big clove of garlic. I know it doesn't look great right now, but it's gonna be good. And then a bit of olive oil. Okay. I could have selected a slightly larger bowl, but this will be okay. So when I made this for Jonathan, he thought it was the best thing in the entire world, and he ate a whole mason jar of it. This will last about 2 weeks in the fridge. So then about 1/4 cup of olive oil, just so that it's not quite as thick. It is thicker than normal Caesar dressing, but I buy that like Renee's, or that's what I was buying, the Renee's Caesar dressing. It's pretty thick too. Okay. And I poured olive oil all over my cutting board. All right, and now Parmesan cheese. So out comes my big block. You can see why I buy it in the big block, because I use Parmesan a lot, it seems. And that will go in. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I meant to put a piece of Parmesan rind into my lasagna soup, and I forgot. I had it here ready, but I lost it. That's why I forgot. Okay.
Megan wants to know if that knife is from Pampered Chef.
This knife is from Pampered Chef. It is the 6-inch one. It is the full stainless one. They have it's not inexpensive, but I love it. I have a bigger one in the same shape somewhere. Yeah. They're my favorite. These Sanko 2 knives are my favorite, but I like the size of this. It's just so, fits so nicely in my hand. But yes, it's Pampered Chef. And they have plastic coated ones or Teflon coated ones. They're a little bit less expensive. But since I cook all the time, I got myself a good one. Okay, so the Parmesan cheese. So this is, I can't tell you, you guys, you have to trust me. This is seriously the best Caesar dressing. So I make my chicken Caesar wraps with this dressing. I have also made a baked chicken Caesar dish where I make that dressing and you coat it over chicken cutlets, and then you put Parmesan and mozzarella cheese, and then you bake that. Whew. So good. All right. Okay, so now that is the dressing. So then what I do, so I actually found, I was saving these. I love these little sizes of containers for lunches. They're not too big and they stack nicely in my fridge. And I found a really good deal on Amazon, and I posted that earlier in the week. I like the glass dishes, but my honey and my kids tend not to bring my stuff back home. So I like to use the plastic ones. So it's just, I got 18 things going on, which is pretty standard for me when I'm doing lunch preps on Sunday, because I like to get it all done. Okay. So for James's Caesar salad, and so I have a couple of chicken breasts that I already cooked, and this is more shredded chicken that I'm gonna do for my other sandwich today. So I just like to slice some chicken up, and I'll tell you the truth, I should have romaine and I don't. So I'm just gonna use good old salad in a bag, because we do what we gotta do. All right, push this out of the way. And when I'm not live, what I do is I line up like 5 of these and I fill them with salad, and then I put the chicken, and then I put the dressing. I do everything kind of like an assembly line. All right, so.
Lisa's wondering, do you write all your own recipes?
Do I write all my own recipes? Well, I write many of my own recipes, and then what I find is that I change every recipe that I ever find anywhere, unless it's a baking recipe. But in general, I like really full flavored foods. I like lots of garlic. I like different textures. So I do tend to rewrite, or I'll see 3 different recipes for something and then I'll combine them all together. So I went to culinary school a long, long time ago, and I catered for a little while. So that's kind of where I get that from. And my grandma was the most amazing cook, and she taught me how to do that as well. So, okay, so here I have my lettuce for James's lunches. And I'm just gonna take some of that chicken. So these are really healthy portions, but it's lean protein, and he's counting on his, I don't know, his Fitbit or his MyFitnessPal or something. All right, now I'm going to put the dressing right on top, and it won't go soggy because it's really thick, and I'm not gonna stir it. And I dribbled olive oil all down the side. All right. So I just put a good healthy tablespoon. It has so much flavor. And then he will just give this a good shake. He might have some soup with his lunch, or he might just have those. So you can see, so those chicken breasts were already cooked, and they these ones happen to come off of a roasted chicken I had, but usually on, like if I'm prepping, I would take 6 chicken breasts, just put salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and bake them in the oven, and then they would be ready just to chop up just like that, or shred if that's what I needed. So those are 2 salads for him, and he'll have more. Okay, so now I gotta make some for the kids. Now the kids don't mind the salad, but they love wraps. So I'm going to take some more of this shredded up chicken, and I'm gonna just make sure it's in smaller pieces. And generally I make enough lunches for my 3 boys and James to take for 4 out of 5 days. And then one day they would have leftovers. Okay. Rice cooker is bubbling. That's not at pressure yet. All right. So I'm not showing you like me making 12 chicken Caesar salad wraps because that would be really boring, but I'm just showing you my kind of approach to it. So here goes this really delicious dressing.
You sure my bacon's okay?
Oh, is James's bacon okay? He's noticing I forgot to put bacon on top of his salad. Let me go check on his bacon. Your bacon is fine. It's actually being a little bit slow, and I wanted to hurry
Just
up.
like me. Need a camera there.
Okay. All right. So instead of mayo, I just use that Caesar salad dressing. And I was gonna go ahead and make the wraps, but I totally forgot about the bacon. So I'm gonna wait till the bacon's cooked. I'm gonna show you the other salad. What am I doing? Okay. So this is to make Asian sesame salad that's gonna go on a nice baguette. So my kids get really bored if I make them just ham and cheese on white bread. I think they take it to school and throw it directly in the garbage, so I stopped doing that.
Or leave it in their bag till we smell it and have to recover it.
Ah yes, James mentions the in the backpack until it smells so bad. So I use wraps, I use buns, I use baguettes, I use all different kinds of things, and occasionally I use good old-fashioned white bread. I can smell the lasagna cooking now. All right. So anybody ever cooked or eaten something called a banh mi sandwich? It's an Asian flavored sandwich. It's delicious. And super simple to make. I'm short on bowls. I'm not really. Okay. So banh mi, in the traditional sense, usually has chicken, and they do this interesting thing. They put like pate or liverwurst on there. I don't do that part. Sometimes they put meatballs, but this is my quick and cheaty version, and this tastes so good. So basically I make a coleslaw, and this recipe is almost up on the blog, but not quite. So I take coleslaw, which has carrots, just that mix from that you get at the Walmart or the Loblaws, or you can tell I'm in Canada. You have Kroger. Okay. And then I put cucumbers. And this is gonna go on top of the sandwich. But I'm making a dressing, and the dressing's really simple. And this is a fancier kind of sandwich, but boy, do I want to eat this for lunch. And I can take the same coleslaw topping and the chicken and put it on salad greens for James as well, or for myself. Can also put it on top of quinoa, and I'll show you, I have one already kind of made. Okay, so to this, it's 3 ingredients. I have rice wine vinegar, water, and sugar. And it makes like this super quick. So it's 1/4 cup. My Instant Pot takes up too much room. Okay, so 1/4 cup of rice wine vinegar. And rice wine vinegar is just not quite as sharp as regular vinegar. 1/4 cup of water. And I lied to you, it's 1/2 cup of rice wine vinegar. And 1/4 cup of sugar. The advantage of the world's smallest kitchen is that everything is right at my fingertips. Okay, so this is like sweet and tangy, but this will have no mayo in it. And I stir this up till the sugar kind of dissolves. I used a little bit of warm water. And I'm gonna toss it with these veggies. Okay. And like, you don't want it super wet. You just want it enough to coat it, and it's gonna start to break down the cabbage that's in there. Sometimes I shred up or slice up some more carrots. Okay. And a pinch of salt, because everything needs salt. So that is gonna go on top of the sandwiches. And then I like cilantro. They sent me the shadiest looking cilantro. You guys cilantro lovers or haters? I'm a cilantro lover. I would say comment, but then you'll have all of these comments that say hate. So don't comment. How about if you love cilantro, you can give me a heart. And if you don't give me a heart. Okay, so give me a sad, oh yeah, sad face. James says you can put a sad face. Okay, so a little bit of cilantro.
Surprising number of parts.
Yeah, cilantro's delicious. James is shocked. Okay. So for me,
Gina says my bacon's ready.
oh, your bacon's ready, okay. I love cooking with you guys. Almost. Not quite crisp enough. It's because I had it on too low.
Oh, Amy's not a fan of the cilantro.
Not a fan. You can leave it out, just like just about everything I cook. For me, I could just have this on top of salad greens with the chopped up chicken or shrimp, like little cooked shrimp, and that would be a great lunch. All right, where are we? This is super hot and almost at pressure, so that means 6 more minutes. The rice is almost finished. It's gonna flip to warm. So we can, while that stuff's all catching up, I know I seem scattered. I'm gonna show you how it all comes together though. So so now this is how I would make my sandwiches. So I'm gonna cut my French bread. And the Instant Pot has come to pressure. Okay, so I'm gonna put just a little bit of mayo so that it's not totally dry. And I like to use big bread. I use focaccia too, or dinner rolls that all come in one big slab because I have to make so many sandwiches, right? Who likes sriracha? I love sriracha. And even my kids have learned to like stuff that's spicy. So this is ready. If you like sriracha, you can put it. If you don't like sriracha, don't do it. I'm gonna put a little bit. All right. So you see where we're going? So even though I've used the same protein, chicken, in a whole bunch of ways, the kids aren't gonna get bored, I'm not gonna get bored, Everybody's gonna have nice lunches. So then I just take some of this shredded or sliced chicken, and can you guys see? Because all I can see are the comments. I can't see what they can see.
It's got a nice clear view.
All right, James says we're good, ladies. So you're gonna make a layer of chicken, and then I'm gonna put some cucumber, and then I'm gonna put some of that coleslaw, which has the carrots and the cabbage and the cilantro, my favorite part. And I probably would normally let this sit just a tiny bit longer, but that's okay. Okay, so this is like your very, very basic down and dirty version of like a banh mi sandwich. Your kids, your hubby, they sure can't say that's boring. Put the top on and cut them. Squirts out into like 3 big pieces. And then I wrap them up. So I bought a really long time ago this huge case of these wrappers. You can get them at like restaurant supply, party supply stores. And then I take all of these little sandwiches and I stick them in my refrigerator, and the kids can, so I call it pick and choose. So they'll know what's in there and they can decide what they want. Okay, so that's 3 banh mi's. Does anybody think that's something you might eat? I'm gonna have one after I'm done, I think. All right. World's smallest kitchen. So I have a basket that goes in my fridge, and I put all of my wraps and all of my sandwiches, and I'm gonna check on James's bacon. There we go. Okay, so who wasn't a believer? There's the bacon. So I didn't have to stand over it. I didn't have to watch it. I didn't have to do anything to it. And it stays all nice and flat. And you can cook it as crispy or as not crispy as you like. Ooh.
Tiffany was saying the same thing I was thinking. You could also put those into lettuce wraps.
Into the banh mi wraps?
The filling into lettuce wraps instead of in the buns.
Oh, absolutely. In a lettuce wrap? Oh yeah. That would be amazing. So for me, this bacon, because I double layered it, needs like a couple more minutes. Because it seems, I don't know, who likes super crispy bacon? I like more crispy bacon. So I'm going to put it back in there. Okay. So this has 2 minutes left. So while that's doing it, I'm just going to show you how I get my, so on Friday night, I prepped Asian grilled steak. And my battery is low on my iPod, my camera I mean, so I'm gonna have James come and plug it in. So all I'm really going to do is get everything ready for my fried rice. So my rice will be sitting in my refrigerator. I'm gonna use it 2 different ways this week. One, I'm going to add chicken broth and chicken broth Parmesan cheese, garlic, and parsley, and I'm gonna serve that with the garlic shrimp scampi that I made. And the other one, I'm going to use all of these veggies that I'm putting in this little bag, because I like to have as much of everything prepped as I can. So in my fried rice is always made better with leftover rice. Perfect. I called it intentional leftovers. So I'm going to chop 3 green onions. And I like the white and the green parts. You can use whichever parts you like or don't like. And I'm just putting it in my little baggie here.
So everyone likes it crispy except always one, Stacy, likes it chewy. But Gina wants to know how long you cook it in the oven.
So usually, sorry, let me turn this guy off. Usually I cook it for, it's about 25 to 30 minutes at 350. So I turned it up and I was trying to rush it along, so I put 2 layers of it, so it was too thick. So about 25 to 30 minutes. Okay. If I had those frozen mixed veggies with the carrots and the peas, I would do that. But I didn't. I had frozen peas with no carrots. I had baby carrots. I'm making do. I'm just chopping up some of those, and I'm going to add soy sauce and garlic. And then on cooking day, I'm going to heat this up in a pan, put my cold cooked rice in it, heat that up in the skillet, and I'm going to serve it with these steak bites, or the Asian grilled steak. All right. We like mushrooms. You can put any veggies you like in here. I try to get as many kinds of veggies in as I can. And this is just the side dish. But I find that if I prep my sides with intentional leftovers, so then I'll have some fried rice, some steak, and that'll make, if there's leftovers, that'll make a really nice lunch for James on that. Remember I said I make him 4 lunches? I don't starve him on the 5th day. I just give him leftovers. Okay, so a little baggie of my veggies already. About 1/4 cup of soy sauce. And this is what they call sweet soy sauce. So it's already got some sugar in it. If you just have plain soy sauce, which is normally what I have, you could just add like a tablespoon of sugar. Okay, so this is just the extra for my fried rice. So my side for that meal is finished. My soup is done, I think. Okay, so this says it's done. Ooh, and I just unplugged it because the cord is so short. All right, so now I'm going to release the steam. Not at me or you, I hope. Okay, there we go.
I hesitate to say it, but Anna thinks you need a quick slice.
A quick slice. I love you guys. I really want the quick slice. I want the mix and chop, the quick slice, and there's that other one that is a Pampered Chef where you put the chicken or the cherry tomatoes and you slice through it. I can't remember what it's called, but I want that too. Does anybody have that one? Slicing, I don't know what it's called. And I don't know if you can hear me over this Instant Pot.
I'm not sure.
Can you guys hear me over the Instant Pot? Okay, so this is gonna finish doing that. Oh, it smells good, you guys. And then I'm gonna add ricotta cheese and mozzarella cheese to it.
And it says if you have the quick slicing, you slice all the mushrooms at once.
Right? Just fast. Okay, it's taken forever. The bacon's taken forever. Oh, yeah.
And then the back says she puts a dish towel over the Instant Pot so the steam doesn't go everywhere.
So I was doing that because I agree. I don't like that steam everywhere. But then somebody told me it was gonna block up my steam valve. So I got scared and I stopped, but it's probably totally fine, right? Okay. Luckily we have more cutting boards. The bacon's just gonna cool for a minute. I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna make my chicken Caesar salad wraps. And so in under an hour, I've got soup for the week. I have lunches for the week. 2 different kinds, well, 4 kinds really. 2 salad options, 2 sandwich wrap kind of options. I have extra rice for this week, so when I get home, shrimp scampi night, all I have to do is heat that up. Asian grilled steak night, just have to heat my rice up with some veggies. And my week is really pretty simple, and we have no reason for the kids to eat out at lunch, no reason to go through the drive-thru. So now I'm just waiting for this to finish its depressuring, because even though I'm a speedy, impatient person, it won't let me go.
And they could hear you over the hissing, but only a bit, and it got better as the hissing got.
Right. Okay. So now the pressure valve is down. The happiness is there. So to me, that's super fast. I know it's not instant, but it's awfully good. I didn't get the burn notice. Oh, I'm just stirring up the noodles. I'm gonna bring it over. And then we're gonna add cheese, you guys. Okay. So, can you see that at all? Often when you make a soup with pasta in it, it soaks up all the liquid. In the Instant Pot, I find it doesn't do that because it's using steam. It's all pressurized in there, so it cooks without soaking it all up. So these noodles are perfectly cooked. I probably could have made them a little bit. Some of them are big, some of them are small. I'm going to add to this 1 cup of Parmesan cheese and 1 cup of ricotta. Me and my very scientific measuring. All the specific measurements are on the recipes on the blog, I promise. And I'm using smooth ricotta because I don't like the texture of the lumpy ricotta. Some people like to use cottage cheese in lasagna. I'm also not a cottage cheese and lasagna fan. But if that's what you like, that's what you should do. Okay, you guys. This is Love in a Bowl. I call my website Love on a Plate because I love to cook for my family. When I'm stressed, I cook. When I'm happy, I cook. When I'm overworked, I cook. I love to cook. And this soup is so good. Okay, and it's finished. And the noodles are perfectly cooked, so even when it goes in the fridge, those noodles are not going to absorb up any more of that liquid. So it is still nice and soupy and cheesy. James, how's it smell?
Smells fantastic.
James thinks it smells fantastic. Because when I'm recipe testing, he doesn't get to taste anything. He only gets to taste it after I've quote unquote perfected it. Okay, so let's do the last thing. I'm gonna grab some bacon. I'm gonna make a chicken Caesar salad wrap.
So 2 things before you move forward.
Yes.
Anna Jarvis would like to know that if you put less liquid in, can you make it thicker?
Oh yeah, and so I was gonna say that it can be thicker, and also if you turn, that's the other amazing thing about the Instant Pot. So saute, if it was plugged in. Why is it? Oh, it doesn't have, I don't know. So I don't know if I blew a fuse or what I did, but I can't get my Instant Pot to turn back on. I would turn it back to, if you want it thicker, you could also turn it to saute and just let it thicken up a little bit more.
And Annabeth asks, have you ever made spaghetti noodles in Instant Pot? Hers have never turned out no matter what she does. Other pastas are fine.
I have. So I do the same trick. I put them at the very top, just under the liquid. So I break them in like thirds, so they're not long and slurpy. I cook the pasta sauce and add that, and I don't cook it for very long. So like a spaghetti noodle is only gonna really need like 4 or 5 minutes. And I really...
She says check the cord in the back.
I just did that. Yeah, guys, check the cord. Okay, so that's one of my other really, the features of the Instant Pot that I really like is, so now that's liquidy. If you want it, now it's supposed to be soup, right? But if you want it thicker, the Instant Pot does a beautiful job of just sauteing, and I can just let it do that thing while it's sitting there. Okay, so last thing is to make these kids some wraps. So I'm just gonna make 2 here for the sake of time.
What kind of wraps are these?
These are chicken Caesar salad wraps, except that of course I'm using salad in a bag because that's what this girl has. And then when I'm done, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all my leftover stuff and I'm gonna make more. So I could make a banh mi wrap with more of this chicken and more of this filling. I just use up all my bits and I get creative. Okay, so I'm gonna put my lettuce down first. And I line it up in the middle. I make these like a burrito and then I cut them in half because one of the kids will eat a whole one of them will only eat half of one, and this way they can take 2 halves instead of throwing away half. We need the bacon, and I need the tongs because they're hot. Okay. So I'm gonna, and I won't use all of this bacon
because I'm gonna eat some.
because James is gonna eat some. But the kids will reheat bacon in the morning. So I always bake a whole sheet pan full and they can just pop it in the microwave. Okay, so 2 bits of bacon. You could chop it up if you wanted. 2 bits of bacon, and this is the chicken. So this is just roasted chicken. You can use the rotisserie chicken with that Caesar salad dressing on it. I'm gonna get to the ends. Don't want to be cheap. One of my kids does dance, hockey, and swim. He like eats a ton. Okay, so now I'm gonna fold in my sides. I'm gonna roll it like a burrito. And if I'm leaving it whole, I'm gonna put it, that's why I love these things. I hate saran wrap. It makes me nuts. And wraps and things I find don't fit in those little Ziploc bags. I know you can buy regular squares of tin foil. That works great too. Okay, so here.
wrapping technique.
I'm gonna fold in the sides, tuck her in, seam on the bottom, corner to corner, sides, and roll. And then they won't fall apart. And so sometimes, if you've ever seen my pictures of my lunch preps after I'm done, you can see all these tinfoil things. Sometimes they're breakfast burritos, sometimes they're these wraps. And so this is 2 chicken Caesar salad wraps. So, if I'm telling the truth, it'll probably take me another 15 minutes just to assemble all of my ingredients into more wraps and bowls. And about 10 minutes to clean up my kitchen. But I do not have to cook dinner, no. I don't have to cook lunch. I don't have to make lunch every day after dinner for the kids. It is one of my least favorite things to do. So I find for me, just like dinner prepping, doing this kind of lunch prep once a week, always on a Sunday. Usually the kids will eat all of this stuff by Thursday, and Friday they get to go out with their friends. And so that is how I attack my lunch preps. We call them pick and choose because they get to decide what they want. And I'll make another basket that will have an assortment of sliced fruit. So I'll put strawberries, oranges, and then I'll put some veggies, little bags of carrots. And when they were littler, they used to have to pick and choose one from each basket. One from the sandwich basket, one from the healthy fruit and veggie basket, and then they got to pick one thing from the treat basket. So that was like store-bought brownies or a couple cookies or some kind of little chip bag. And so that's where I came up with my pick and choose system. And I found that if the kids got to take what they liked instead of just what I made, then they ate their lunches. So I hope you found some of this helpful. Like I said, on Friday, I am just back at work after having been off for a while. So I am cooking every Friday night, doing my live preps for dinners, and every Sunday I'm cooking soup and sandwiches and bowls. So anytime you got a couple free minutes, come on in. I'll schedule out all these events. I'll share the recipes of what I'm cooking. I have so much fun hanging out with you guys.
Don't forget Facebook group,
Oh.
website. Thanks to me.
Oh, James is being bossy again. He would like me to remind you that we do have a Facebook community group. So this is the main page, but there is a Facebook group, and that's where we kind of hang out. It's like the coffee spot, you know? We go and we talk and we have a little, oh, he stole bacon! Bacon thief! All right, we need some hearts for James and his bacon stealing. So join the community. Let me know if there's anything I can show you or share with you, if you have a special request for something. If you are coming on this video later and you are watching and have a question, I get notifications, so feel free to add a comment. If you go to the website, you will get these recipes, and also there is a free Thanksgiving planner that will help you have a stress-free Thanksgiving. Bunch of my Thanksgiving recipes are already up on the blog, and I have plans to put the rest up because I'm a Canadian girl and I already did my Thanksgiving. So have a wonderful rest of your Sunday afternoon. Do a girl a favor, share this video, and I hope that you will all come back, and I will see you next Friday night.